So, the first week or two of this semester, we're going to be sort of talking about the stuff that we talked about in 201. It's a review for those of you that had 201, as it gets you up to speed for the people that did not have 201. But let me say, if you have not had 201, which is 3/4 of it, don't panic. Doesn't matter. The difference between 201 and 202 is, this is micro, well, microeconomics, where 201 is macro, big economics. Macroeconomics is looking at entire countries, entire populations, entire industries. Where microeconomics this semester, what we're going to be doing is looking at individual people, individual businesses. Instead of talking in 201, we're talking about the United States. In 202, talk about you. In 201, we talk about the automobile industry. In 202, we talk about Toyota. Kind of think about it as world history, U.S. history. U.S. history is part of world history, right? But you don't have to know anything about U.S. world history in order to take a U.S. history class, right? So that's kind of where we are here. If you sort of think about it that way. So for those, there's a few little underlying things that are going to sort of hang over. I should say hang over. You don't think about alcohol. But there's a few little underlying basics to carry over. But if you did not have 201 or anything like that, you're golden. For those of you that did have 201, well, you better get good credits on first class. I'm just saying. But so this first today, Thursday, whatever that day is, it's going to be just getting up to speed on some stuff here. And the first is the idea that, well, when it comes to economics, the reason why economics exists is because everything is scarce. What does scarce mean? Limited. Everything is limited. We have a limited amount of money. We have a limited amount of time, limited amount of sanity, limited amount of intelligence, limited amount of space. So we've got to make choices, right? And how are you going to be making choices? Those choices, how are you going to be valuing things to be deciding what's the better choice, what's the worst choice, all that kind of stuff. That's really what economics is about. And notice how I only use the word money once there. A lot of times when I ask people first day of class, I'm like, what do you think of when you think of the word economics? I hear money and supply and demand, and I don't know. Those are generally the 30 answers. Well, economics really isn't about money. It is a study of human behavior. Because what we're spending our money on is a sign of what we think is important. Because where are we getting that money from? Working. Which, if you're working, what are you not doing? You're not working. Free time. You spending money to buy that $60 video game, how many hours of your life did you have to give up in order to get the $60 that you needed to get that video game? Was that video game worth you giving up 8 hours of your life for? Because that's what you just did, right? The more important something is, the more we're willing to pay for it, the more valuable it is. And how are we paying for it? Because we're giving up free time with our friends, we're giving up free time sleeping, we're giving up whatever in order to get off the couch and go to work to get the money to buy this stuff. Unless you're like Loveline, who's punching off of her parents until she was pregnant with the 8-tentacled alien love child. But that was last semester.
Could you imagine the confusion on everybody that wasn't in here last semester?
Yes, that's why I went ahead and I rolled through it real fast there. Yeah. Yes, Loveline ended up being pregnant with an 8-tentacled alien love child before the end of last semester. Just, yes. Anyway. But she's hoping that she's going to come through okay, selling her story to TMZ and that kind of thing. So how did that work out? But what we spend money on as individuals and what we spend money on as a society is what we indication of what's important. To you as individuals, how important is music to you?
Very good.
How much are you spending money on it?
0. Since I was 11 years old, $0.
Okay, so the music one really is kind of complicated in the last couple of years.
I'm a musician, so
okay,
I spend way too much.
Okay. Bobby's spending way too much. Because I got to support those artists because I'm going to be one of these days, I hope. But for a lot of us, it's like, what do you like this person's music enough to spend $10 to buy their CD? Do you like music enough to spend $10 to get a month to get the Spotify account that has no commercials and you can have unlimited skipping? Or are you like, well, I just kind of like music and I'm okay with the commercials and skipping and putting up with some stuff that I don't really like mixed in with stuff I do like because I'm too cheap to spend extra money to get the ability to unlimited skip?
Yeah, I'm extremely frugal. So.
Yes. I'm married, so I have no choice. My wallet. So, but for how many of you would spend money? I don't know. Y'all don't buy CD. Have any of you ever bought a CD?
Yeah.
Or half of them? Buy records. Oh, you're busy. What do y'all do? Y'all don't listen to music. I mean, except streaming it off of YouTube or whatever. What do y'all video games? How many of y'all gamers? Half of you. Okay. So half of you. Well, I'll play a little Candy Crush on my phone, right? Or something, not Candy Crush or Fortnite. Or y'all doing Fortnite? Or have y'all moved past Fortnite yet? Oh, you still?
I wish we did.
Okay. So just anyway, I can't sit and play for more than a couple of minutes. And I just anything. But some of y'all are like, okay, maybe 99 cents for a game. Maybe I'm only going to get free games. Or some of y'all are willing to spend $60 for a game.
No, I'm gonna wait just a couple of months to get $20.
Yeah, okay, so he's going to GameStop or whatever, as long as GameStop still is existing, which probably not going to last. But then society as a whole, how important is the video game Fortnite to American society? They're making a bunch of money. But how important to American society is Chicken Hunter 12? Exactly. Society as a whole, even if you did see a game called Chicken Hunter 12, how many of y'all are going to spend some money to buy it? Okay,
Depends on how many other people that you know start spending money to buy it.
Hey, that's true though. Because my friends got the game, I don't want to be.
Yeah. So society as a whole puts more value on Fortnite than it does on Chicken Hunter 12. Yeah,
is that news? Is that a game?
Oh,
you made it up.
Oh yeah, it's out there. Let me go home and start programming. I don't know. Apparently, I need to program in a different game. Keep up on this. Okay. Society as a whole, Chicken Hunter is very important to society as a whole. Fortnite is. That's ECO201. But then there might be the one person in here, this is a hardcore Chicken Hunter addict. The Chicken Hunter is it for them. Okay, sodas, Sundrop. I mean, I'm hardcore enough, I got a Sundrop cane inside a Sundrop holder, same thing.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
This screen
right
on my
there.
phone, Sundrop. It wasn't on your computer
That's
for a while. It was on my computer's desktop for a while. I just rotated. I've got a couple of different wallpapers that I've made, like the shark from Jaws coming up, and there's a bottle of Sundrop for these instead of bikini. I had done a new quarter sponsorship,
For intervention.
but for society, for society's whole, apparently Sundrop isn't as important because a lot of people like David are drinking that other yellow.
I like that.
But just.
That's my. This is the highest caffeine content I can get out of that machine.
Oh, out of that machine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so society as a whole, maybe Sundrop ain't that important, but for me, I'm paying whatever. When I'm out of Sundrop, I'm paying whatever the price is. I try to get one. My wife, she does grocery shopping and she tries to find it on sale, but if it ain't on sale and I'm running low, then we got to buy it full price.
So you're big.
Sundrop, I'm with it. Go figure. I mean, it's my wallpaper on my phone. But so,
And you paid money for that
oh,
metal koozie?
no, the metal thing. Yeah. No, this is just a sticker on it. It's a decal on it. But let me tell you all about this. This I can't. Okay, here's advertising. So I'm not correspondent. It's made by the thermos people. You can't use it like Walmart or something like that. Thing. It's got a rubber gasket thing on the top, and it's stainless steel. I don't know if y'all saw how hard it was for me to get this thing in and out. Suction. This can and this hugger is acting like one of the Yeti cups. It's got the vacuum suction thing going in there, so there's not much air in there, so there ain't much heat transfer. So this drink stays cold 3 times longer, at least it would be if it was just sitting on the thing. So if you want cold drinks, one of these jokers. There you go. I'm just saying. And then, try to revolutionize your life. But then you have your sun drop sticker on it, and you have your can twisted in such a way that your fingers are not covering the logo while you're taking your drink, so everybody can see what it is you're drinking while you're drinking.
Corporate sponsorship.
Yes. Anyway, do you put any of those in sun drop? Not anymore. We're not y'all's age anyway. Moving right along. So, okay. So we have this theory called rational behavior. The idea that people are going to act in their own best interests. David, he's acting rationally based on the information that he has. He needs caffeine, and he thinks he needs caffeine. The caffeine is more important to him than flavor, so he's getting Mountain Dew instead of sun drops. And that's okay. But, and so he's making a rational decision. He's like, I need the most caffeine that I can find. And he said he's looked at what's in that machine, and Mountain Dew's got the most of what's in there. Apparently that machine doesn't have sun drop. Sun drop eats it. And just if it had sun drop, would you be buying sun drop?
Maybe just to appease my current audience, yeah.
I applaud you honestly. Okay. Well, that's better than people that outright said they couldn't stand it. But people can act in their own best interest. We just may not know what it is that they're thinking, but they're going to be generally thinking logically. Y'all know the person that's living in a mansion, but driving a rusty 73 Ford Pinto. And y'all think that person's crazy, right? Well, we got to figure that house somehow. They got to figure that house somehow. But maybe the person has serious social anxiety, doesn't like people, they live at home, they work at home, and the only time they ever have to go somewhere is once a month when they got to go to the drugstore to refill their prescriptions. And so if that's all they're doing, why in the world are they going to spend $60,000 on a car?
Or they just really like a Pinto.
Or they really like a Pinto, in which case then they're wholly irrational and need to go do stuff. But people have a decision for why they do it. There is a reason in most cases for why they do things. If the people that don't act rationally, that's an indication in psychology class for people that are not acting rationally, and that's getting into irrational people, insane people. That's sort of the definition of saying insane is you're not sane, you're not rational. You're not thinking logically. There is no logic to your processes mentally thinking. I'm talking psychology here. Economics is not a business class. Economics is a social science class. Economics is as closely related to psychology and sociology as it is business. What did I say the definition of econ was 2 slides ago? Study human behavior, that's what we're looking at here. Right? So that's why the math is good to use. But people are going to act in their own best interest. The dude ended up winning the Nobel Prize in economics for this idea. If you want to win the Nobel Prize, go in economics, just find the obvious and state it. People are going to act in their own best interest. Nobel Prize. I mean, there's several of them that's like, really? Someone won a Nobel Prize? Sure. And some of them can be like stupid. Like there's a guy, okay, I shouldn't say stupid because he's a lot smarter than I am, and he won $1 million prize. But you give somebody a tax break, and they're not going to spend that money. They're going to save that money because they know if you do a tax cut now, taxes are going to go up later, and I want to have the money on hand in order to pay that back. Is anybody going to behave that way?
I don't understand nothing of this.
Yeah.
The government gives us tax cuts in the idea that they're going to give us an incentive to go out and put that money into our economy. That's not what most people do with their tax.
They just spend. Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to save it, ideally.
No, actually the other way. They're going to give us a tax cut because they want us to spend it. They want us to spend it to increase the economy. The government's going to say, we're going to give you some of you. We've been taking a bunch of your money. I'm Uncle Sam. I've taken some of your money. I'm going to give some of it back. I want you to spend it. This guy, David Ricardo, said, people are going to say, no, Uncle Sam gave me some extra money, so I know Uncle Sam later is going to come knocking on the door and say, I want more money in return. So he was saying those tax cuts aren't going to work because everybody's going to hold on to that money. Really? If somebody gives you extra money, you're gonna say, well, I think your government's gonna come back in a couple of years, let me put it in an envelope, write Uncle Sam's name on it, and stick it in the drawer. What did you want the Nobel Prize $2? To that. I know, beat you to it. State the obvious, no, well, you buy 40 years at least, 50 years. State the obvious, get a Nobel Prize. Anyway. And just,
The whiteboard is white. Where's my prize?
there you go. Well, that one might almost fall into physics, but it's got to be a little bit something business, society, sociology related. But we assume that, so when we're talking about things, we're going to be assuming that people are going to behave in a rational, logical, sensible thing. In most cases, they do, but in reality, most people's behavior, somebody's behavior might not agree with your behavior because they have different information, different motives, different whatever going on. But overall, we're going to be the price of sun drop goes up. We can drink more of it or less of it. Less. If the price of sun drop goes down, are we drink more of it or less of it?
Less.
If we get a pay raise, are we going to buy more stuff or less stuff? Pay raise, we're going to buy more stuff, right? If you get a pay cut, are you going to buy more stuff or less stuff?
Less.
Less. So that's just sort of, that's common sense. Yeah, there's some people that swim upstream or whatever, but just we're generally going to be assuming over the course of the semester that in the examples that we're going to be talking about, we're going to assume the logical behavior for people. So we're not going to be talking about middle school kids because there's nothing rational about them. That's why we don't let them vote. That is exactly why we don't let them vote. So, marginal. The margin on your paper is what? The margin of your paper. The extra paper along the edges, right? So marginal, margin, extra. So there probably will be a question on test number 1, define marginal, and you just put down the word extra. Everybody wants. Okay. Yes. But the idea of marginal goes into the next 2 slides. There's an idea of marginal cost. Each extra action that we take has an extra cost. If I drink 1 sun drop, I spend $1. If I want to drink a second sun drop, that extra action to drink an extra sun drop is going to do what? It's going to cost me an extra $1, right? Rocket science. So any actions that we take are going to have additional costs. You have 1 boyfriend. What are the costs for having 1 boyfriend? What are the costs for having 2 of them? But then the flip side, what are the benefits of having 1 boyfriend? What are the benefits of having 2 boyfriends? What's the benefit of me drinking a second sun drop instead of just 1? How much better is my life for drinking 2 sun drops instead of 1? How much better is my life for studying that second hour for the test? How much better in your life is studying for that than studying that 5th hour for the test? Somewhere along the line, you do what is called marginal analysis. You look at what's the extra cost for me to take the extra action, what's the extra benefit of taking this extra action, and if the benefit outweighs cost, you do it. If the benefit doesn't outweigh the cost, you don't do it. Okay. How much joy, satisfaction, and all am I going to get from drinking another sun drop? 170 calories. I'm going to get however much more extra caffeine. I'm going to get to bathe my taste buds in 12 more ounces worth of yellow joy. And the extra cost is only whatever 60 cents worth if you're buying them by the 12 pack, whatever, right? So, yeah, I'm going to drink that extra sun drop. If me studying an extra hour is going to increase my grade by 30 points, is it worth the extra 30 points to give up an hour of my life? Maybe. But if giving up that extra hour is only going to improve my grade by 2 points, yeah. Nope, put the books away, right? Somewhere along the line, whenever y'all study, y'all make the decision, any extra studying that I do ain't worth it, right? You come to that decision point every time. When you go to the buffet, you already paid when you walked in the door. So what is the extra cost for you to go and get a second plate of food, a third plate of food, a 4th plate of food? Just the energy to get up and waddle across the restaurant, right? And somewhere along the line, you get to the point where you say, it ain't worth it. I'm going to get so little enjoyment out of the 5th plate of food, it ain't even worth me getting up and walking across the restaurant for. Right? We make these decisions every day. What's the extra benefit of me driving 10 miles over the speed limit instead of 5 miles over the speed limit? What are the odds that I'm going to get caught and get a ticket? Right? You do that decision when you decide how fast you're going to go when you're out on I-85 here the next few minutes. Right? Oh, yeah. So he's doing the math about the calculations for, what the cops and their quotas and that kind of thing. Our costs are different. What I said. If you get 1 hour studying 1 extra hour will get you an extra 30 points on the test. Remember that example? Some of you like, yeah, it's worth it. Some of you like, it's not worth it. Who can I pick on? Bobby. I would start with Bobby. Bobby, giving up an hour of his life. Bobby doesn't really have a life. He doesn't have any friends. He doesn't have any hobbies. He claims he's got music as a hobby, but we all know that that's a lie. So he's just sitting around. His family doesn't like him. His pets don't like him. He doesn't have any friends, and he only gets 3 channels on the antenna, and they come in fuzzy, so he doesn't really watch it. So for him to give up an extra hour to study, no. All right? For Matthew, he's got a lot going on. He's got a good paying job. He's dating a supermodel, and he's about ready to go on the tour for the professional video gamers. So him giving up an hour of his life, he's giving up. Oh, and by the way, his friends are about ready to go the party of the, not just the year, but the decade. And not just this decade, but the next decade, right? So for him to miss going and hanging out with supermodels at the party of the decade, just to get 30 points? Matthew, what are you going to do?
I don't know about that one.
Party down, right? Or Bobby, Bobby isn't giving up a lot. It's extra cost, isn't a whole lot. So yeah, he'll go ahead and do the study. It's worth it for the 30 points. For a lot of us, like 30 points score, but 30 points ain't not for Matthew. That's too huge of a sacrifice for him. So, congratulations, Matthew. Sorry, Bonnie. The troopers. So, to put that together with something else, we have the idea of opportunity costs, and they're not what you think. If because you take an opportunity, you give up the opportunity to do something else. Because Matthew's partying, he's not studying. He ain't going to be at the party of the decade with all the supermodels standing there with his econ textbook, right? It ain't about, no. Because he's in class right now, he's not on the job. Because he's in class now, he's not playing video games. Because he's in class now, he's not sleeping. Because he's in class now, he's not watching episodes of Judge Judy. What else could Matthew be doing right now is what he's giving up to be in this class. Because you're dating the person you're dating, who are you not dating?
People you're not the one I want.
Exactly. So realistically, who could you be dating that you're not dating because you're dating the person that you are dating?
Literally anybody else. Anybody.
Yeah. But if you're like me, your options are pretty limited, right? Back in the day, pretty limited. But some of y'all have options. So to be dating the person you're dating, yeah, you could have been dating other people. So there you go.
Limited to 70s.
What?
Talking about limited during the 70s.
No, I'm not talking about living during the 70s. Sam, I don't know about the 30s piece of furniture. I'm not going to 30s piece of furniture at you because I said that while recording, so no, I'm never going to show furniture. Anyway, that's joke. But I hope I don't accidentally, I hope you don't accidentally spill your bottle of water on yourself before you read. I'm not going to accidentally spill some trouble. But we give up things. For you to start dating somebody new, what do you got to have to give up?
Sorry.
The person you're dating now.
No, you don't.
What is, Jordan, the extra benefit of you having 2 girlfriends rather than 1? What is the extra costs of you having 2 girlfriends rather than 1?
Definitely record, but No benefit.
I think the words plead the fifth are coming to mind. But that's the thing. Not Jordan, but let's say somebody whose name is Jordan, would sit there and say, okay, it's your girlfriend, so, well, I can go out with one of them on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the other one on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so I've got somebody that I can hang out with it, but then
You gotta spend more money.
you gotta spend how much more money?
Not be
But you gotta think, what are all of the costs? It ain't just the money in the restaurant, it ain't just the money for driving up and down the highway with gasoline.
Facts.
What else? He's got to be creative. He's got to create that second Facebook account, that second Instagram account. So that hopefully girl A doesn't see her. So he's got separate accounts with both of them and that kind of stuff. He's got to worry.
2 phones too.
Yep. 2 phones, two vehicles, and he's got to. I'm gonna date this one in Emporia. I'm gonna date this one in South Hill, and we gotta never go to the other town because somebody. So there's all that stress involved, right? What are all the, and then, okay, what are the odds what are the odds that Jordan is going to get busted?
Yeah.
And what is, pretty high, and what is the cost of the damage that is going to be done to the tires of his car and so on, if he does get busted?
Yeah. Somebody.
That's right. I don't know about Jordan, but Jordan has decided no.
Yeah, I want that.
One, right? The extra cost of having a second girlfriend doesn't outweigh the extra benefits of having the second girlfriend.
I agree with Jordan. Jordan needed to.
So, most of us, we have to give up the one in order to have the other. Because I'm a married man, she's the only one that I'm dating. She has all my money. She has me right where she wants me.
Congratulations.
It is what it is. I've given up dating other women. I've given up buying anything. I've given up buying anything. I don't even go to a Best Buy anymore. Just what am I giving up in order to do what it is I'm doing? And you have to think about all those sacrifices. And they may not be financial, like Matthew. He's not giving up free time to be in his class. Okay, maybe not. Well, for some of you, how many of you had to knock off of work in order to come here and take this class? 3 of you. So 3 people in here are not making as many hours, working as many hours as they would if they weren't taking this class. So not only is it costing them the $300 worth of tuition to be here, but Loveline is giving up $10 an hour, 2 hours a day, twice a week. So it's $40 that's not going into her pocket because she's not at work each week, all semester long. So 40 times 16 is, that's what, 600 some odd dollars? So there, 350 left her wallet for tuition, and then 650 never went into her wallet because she had to reduce her hours that she's working. That's what she's giving up. She's giving up time working. So how huge is that sacrifice for her? So how important is she gonna important is she gonna value this class?
Very important.
Is she gonna be studying?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
But somebody like Will, that has nothing going on with his life, or Bobby has nothing going on with her life. If they weren't here, they would just be sleeping. How big is their sacrifice? And mom and dad or somebody or Uncle Sam, somebody's paying their college tuition. And they're bumming a ride from somebody else, so they ain't even paying gas money. So what's it costing them to be here? What are they giving up? Pretty much nothing. Except that extra little bit of sleep. Well, if you're still sleeping after noon.
Well,
I'm starting to lose sympathy for you. Especially on a Tuesday. I mean, Saturdays, Tuesday, so. You know, the sacrifices that a lot of maybe financial, any of y'all got kids? You could be spending time with your children instead of here. That is a emotional sacrifice there, right? Those people, they got to take the class here as well. I'm trying to decide people wanting to be there or not, anyway, based on that. I'm not going to step into that trap. But just people that you're giving up time with kids, giving up time with friends, giving up time with what are you giving up? But in a twisted way, it's good to have opportunity costs because that meant you had options and opportunities. If begins with J, Josie. Josie is a transfer student, and she sent out all these applications, and she had one college that sent her a letter of acceptance. How easy is her decision on where to go to college?
100%.
That's pretty easy. Where Haley got 2 acceptance letters, one from Harvard, one from Yale. How hard is her decision on where to go to college?
Depends on the loan rates.
Free rides to both colleges.
Go.
Because Haley's got game. Y'all didn't know that? Haley's got game. She paid me to say that. So, how hard is her decision? Well, Harvard's got this and this and this going for it. Yale's got that and that and that going. She's got options. She's got a tough decision to make because she had opportunity. So she's got to give up the dream of going to Harvard because she's going to Yale instead. That's a heavy opportunity cost there. Maybe Carrie is facing the choice between working on a family farm or being a lawyer. Tough calls there. Which choice do you make? He's going to give up an opportunity to make $175,000 a year as a lawyer in order to grow some pumpkins and corn and stuff with the family, with his brother Eli, and slashing tires and Eli's tractor and whatever, making all those. Because you have options, that's when you have the tough choices. When you got game and then you see somebody who looks fantastic walking down the hallway and you're like, The single people have no problem with going up and talking to that person. People that are dating, they got something that slows them down because they have something else going on in their lives. So opportunity costs, in a way, it's good. It's good that you have them. That means you got stuff going on in your life. You had opportunities, you had options. That's a beautiful thing. If you don't have anything going on with your life, well, get something going on with your life. Any questions on any of that?
Sir.
I know that is kind of bizarre and out there, but welcome to my world. There you go. But we've got a few more little basics before we actually transition into what was old school chapter 3. The old school chapter 3, supply and demand. We're going to spend some time talking about it. And there we go. Any questions? $100 worth of orange. I ain't oh yeah, the metaphorical money I borrowed from.